Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am the K-pop hag and I'm finally getting around to my mid-year collection flip through. This year I will just be doing my photocard collection. In this video I have 6 binders and almost 1,300 cards, which is the most I've had in several years after a big downsize. So we're just going to get right into it. It has already changed from the last video. I've done some rearranging off camera, some maintenance and things like that. But we'll just get started. So this is my miscellaneous binder. This originally was my Purple Kiss Nagolin collection. Then it became my Purple Kiss Chago collection, and now it is miscellaneous. It has, even if only getting this in I think maybe September or October of last year, it's already changed multiple times. So first off is my OG K-pop group, my OG alt bias Girls' Generation. I do collect everything for Girls' Generation, solos, units, group, but for group, I only collect Sooyoung's album cards. So we have all of the group and unit stuff up here in the front. And everything is just in chronological order. I do also have the SM Town albums in here, as well as Got the Beat. So that is it for Girls' Generation proper. This next section is all of their solo releases. Now, everything is separated by member, and then each member section is in chronological order. So our oldest member is Dahyun, and she's definitely the most active as a soloist. So we have all of her cards here. For the units, side projects like SM Town, Got the Beat, and their solos, I just keep my pools. For Dahyun, I do go out of my way to try to get her album cards that have 0 in them. But they are a very low priority. And I actually was able to pull all but the limited 0 card, which I feel like I was the only person who wanted that card. Next, we have Miss Jessica. Yes, this is an OT9 binder. This is an OT9 household. Hi, welcome, hello. Then we have Tiffany. Tiffany is the only member that I have seen live in concert, so I do have my group pictures here from her Lips on Lips tour and her Magnetic Moon tour. Hyoyeon and Yuri share a page here. And then we have Sooyoung, who is my main bias in the group. So I have some of her non-album as well as album stuff. These are her Beaming Effect 2017 cards. This is her 2021 fan meeting, my favorite. These 3 are my muse. And then this is a sticker from her solo debut in Japan. Then lastly, we have Yuna and Soyeon, who also share a page. Our next section here is Kwon Eunbi. She was my main pick in Produce 48. I used to have an entire IZ*ONE solo collection for her. Then I completely dropped it, and I did decide to pick up just 1 card per era for her. I might one day go back and pick up 1 card per era for IZ*ONE as well. It's just really going to depend on how expensive those cards are. Next, we have Hearts to Hearts. I'm collecting Stella. I'm collecting 1 photo book version photo card and 1 group card for her. And off camera, I did downsize my Style and Rude cards that I have. I really just want to focus on album only for her. Then we have my little 5 section. I absolutely love their music. They're not K-pop, they're technically J-pop, but I did buy both of their vinyls this year. So I just have the sets that came in the vinyls. Lastly, in this binder, we have the truly miscellaneous section. So the girls are first, and everything is roughly in debut order, but I'm not going to say that they're exactly. So I have my 2 pink fantasy Polaroids. we'll have Somin's Backseat Pobs. We have Moonbull, Kepler, and some K-pop Demon Hunter. I am set up for my Heart of Woman pulls. And then we get into the boys. I have some ATEEZ cards. And then I also have my pulls from Alan's or All In's debut album. Then just some extra pages here at the back. So like I said, I have moved some people around. I don't think I fully dropped anyone since the last video. I'm trying to think. I know I've picked up some people, but I don't think I've dropped anyone. So next we have what I was referring to as my Mod House binder, but it has expanded. So it is no longer just Mod House artists. I believe I have them in debut order, but again, don't quote me on that. So first up we have HaSeul. I did have a full HaSeul collection and I did let it go last year, but I have picked her back up. I'm focusing on her solo photo cards, but I am going to get at least one card per era for everything she's been in. So we have a full page of her Luna eras. Then I will have, like I said, one card per Artemis era that she is a part of. I have the Omas on the back just because they're really plentiful to get a hold of, and I think it looks kind of neat. I stole the idea from Once Glassy. She has her whole front page of the Omas for Triple S, so I thought putting it on the back of the one card would be kind of cool. Then we get into all of her solo cards. I am going to try to completely collect her as far as album stuff goes, but I'm not going to fully commit because I do get overwhelmed and then decide to downsize quite often. Then I have a page of just kind of extra random cards here in the back. Next we have Alexa, who I do need to make a cover page for. So all of her albums have always come with a full set. So we have her first 3 albums here. And then we have Girls Gone Vogue, which she just exploded and did 9 cards for this album. I was able to find the missing 5 on Mercari for about $1 each. So I will have the full set and we'll be able to see the image on the back. Then lastly for this binder, we have my Dahyun from Triple S collection. I am collecting her album objects fully. I was also collecting her tour cards, but I did decide to downsize on those and just really focus on cards that I think are really cute, like the light stick and some broadcasts if I can get a hold of them. But that is it for this binder. It is definitely the smallest of the collection binders so far. None of these collections I think will grow very quickly, although Triple S is doing a lot of stuff this year, so I guess I shouldn't speak too soon. And you know, now that I think about it, does Triple S have objects for their Japanese releases? Do I need to be looking out for Dahyun's Japanese cards? So next up we have my Dreamcatcher binder, and for Dreamcatcher proper I do collect Xion and Dami, but I am collecting all of their solo and unit and side project releases, kind of the same way I plan to do for Purple Kiss. And for Girls' Generation, I will just be collecting my pulls for those and really focusing on Xion and Dami as much as I can. So I do have this nice little cover page here with some random POBs and broadcast cards and units. And then we can just dive straight into the collection proper. So these are all of the beginnings of the Nightmare series. Then we have the one Dami card I am missing. It is her leather outfit set. Everyone I have found who has it listed on both Insta and Mercari is inactive. So if you have this card, please sell it to me. I had this card several years ago, and my biggest regret in life is selling it. Then we get into the What era. And this binder is the first one I did spreads in, so I will be skipping the back fully pages just to save a little bit of time. We have Piri and their Japanese debut album. And then we have a completed Rate of Dream collection. Moving into the Dystopia series, as well as Endless Night. We have Boca and Road to Utopia. And everywhere you have seen a purple sleeve, that means that the card is either on hand or on the way. It just hasn't been stored yet. We also have a completed summer holiday collection. And then beginning Apocalypse, this is Save Us, their second full album. We have Follow Us and the Follow Us polkas. We have Apocalypse From Us and the From Us polkas as well. We have Versus Villains. These are all of the photo book cards. The limiteds are across the top and the normals are across the bottom. And then we have all of the Versus Villains polka cards. They really exploded and went crazy with the photo cards for this album. Then for their final album, we have Virtuous. So again, these are all of the photo book cards. And then the polka cards. Then I do have My Christmas Sweet Love, their last, I don't want to call it a digital single because they released a platform album, but there's not like a physical CD version of this. So I'm going to call it a digital single, but this is the last thing OT7 has released. And I've had this done since the album came out because there were only the 4 cards. I did decide to collect both of the girls. And then moving into our adventurous expansion era, we have UAU's debut. This side is the photo book and the jewel cases, and these are all of the polka cards that I pulled. Then we have Dami's solo debut. I have both of the Soundwave fan call rounds, and I also put her mini catcher cards here just because I thought it filled out the page kind of nice. And I got this really adorable panda frame from someone in a trade, and just I knew I needed to put it in here. We have Crocticle's debut album, my One Suck Polaroid from the vinyl version, and then all the rest are Make Star Pobs. And I do also have my signed pages from my fan call with them and a page for UAU's comeback. So that is it for Dreamcatcher album cards. Then the last album binder is Purple Kiss. So I did pick up Chaeyeon, so I now collect Chaego. And we just start straight off into the album cards. Let's see if I can... I added a lot of stuff into the binders, and I'm not 100% sure if I like it. I do kind of feel like they're just in the way. But I always see people do it, and it looks so cute. So we'll see how it kind of continues. But we have the Geekyland Digipacks. I do have one OT6 non-album set in here. This is their 2023 Season's Greetings Caution Love. I was able to find a sealed copy, and the cards are just so cute. I couldn't separate it. Getting into Cabin Fever and their Japanese debut. I do also have their girls' side project in here. So we have Swan's solo debut. And then I will also have Yuki's L's Up cards in here as well. I'm technically missing her PLVE versions, but they seem kind of impossible to get a hold of, so I'm good with the cards that I do own. Then we get into their final eras. We have I Miss My and Our Now. I do have the RBW Cafe cards from the A Violet to Remember digital single. And whatever any of the girls do next, I will continue to collect. I do have a couple of Swan's Fanicon photo cards coming. And I know she's mentioned solo music, Cheyenne's mentioned solo music. So whenever those do release, if there are physicals or fan signs, I will definitely be getting some cards. Then, because Gone is my alt bias in the group, I do have some, well, actually quite a lot of non-album for her. It is mostly pre-order benefits, and I have tried to limit myself to one page per era. There is a little bit of overhang on some, especially with the later eras where I started doing fan calls and joining group orders. But I have tried to limit myself. There are a few cards that I am still looking for. I don't know that I will ever find them, unfortunately. I hope that I can one day. And if you ever want to know where any of these cards are from or any of the other cards from the other binders are from, just leave a comment below with a timestamp and which card in the grid it is, and I will be more than happy to tell you. I do have my K-pop spreadsheet numbered, so I know which cards are which. And for Purple Kiss, at least, I do also have photos uploaded into my K-pop collection Notion, so I can tell you pretty easily which cards are which. And if you would like either of those things, there are links down below to the Notions, and there's also a link to my Ko-Fi where you could get the spreadsheet. I do also have some winners postcards from various fan signs and album events, concerts, and I do also have my fan sign pages back here in the back. I need to upgrade these pages. I just haven't really pulled the trigger on buying Meow Cafe or Alt Bias. I'm not really like partial to either. I have a lot of Meow Cafe pages now, so I feel like maybe I should stick with theirs, but I'm not ready to fully commit to any one brand. Now, the last two binders I have are all non-album. There's a lot of concert stuff. There's some fan clubs. Basically, anything that's not related to an album release is going to be in these binders. There is definitely going to be a lot of Dreamcatcher. They were my priority for the longest period of time. They used to be the only group I collected non-album for. But as time has gone on and K-pop groups tour more often, I've been able to see more people, so I have more things to collect. I have also added in my group photos and singular photos from various events that I've been able to attend over the years. I've always said that if I dropped my photocard collection tomorrow. These two binders are the ones that I would keep everything inside of. There's just a lot of memories attached to these cards, even the online concerts, and I think it would be a lot harder for me to let these go. Also, it's some of my favorite cards of all of the members. We do start getting into some Luna. They did some online concerts, and I was able to see them at their US tour. I'm so glad that I went to this now. I do have Girls' Generation's 15th anniversary, the fragrance set. But like I said, you can definitely tell that Dreamcatcher was the priority and is the majority of what I have in these binders. Starting with Dreamcatcher's 2023 tour, Apocalypse From Us, I did also that's when I started making freebies for concerts. So I did keep one freebie set from all of the events I have attended over the years. Again, there's memories attached to them. So even though they're unofficial, like just seeing them kind of makes me smile. So that non-album binder was 2017 to 2023. This one starts off with 2024. And I have several pages in here that there are not cards for yet. The cards are on hand. But with the Purple Kiss disbandment, I did kind of break my own rule and start expanding because, as I think I've said in every video now, as long as there is something for me to collect of Purple Kiss, they're not really gone. They're still here. I just miss them so much. This year has felt very empty for me without a Dreamcatcher group or Purple Kiss group release. I have loved every bit of Croctical and UAU, but it is kind of sad when your alt biases stop doing things together as regularly and kind of branch out. The music is great, and I'm happy that they're active and they're doing what they want to do, but it's just different. And after 6 years with Purple Kiss and 8 years with Dreamcatcher, it feels really weird. So now we're into 2025 with Purple Kiss's Headway tour. I have my signed freebie set. I've only ever attended the one Artemis tour, but I did collect their VIP cards for all of the tours they've had so far. Kind of like I wasn't able to go to the Purple Kiss BXX tour, but I did still manage to get a copy of those cards. Now getting into A Violet to Remember, I've got the cards from Japan, from the US. I also have the Soul Stop cards. Like I said, as long as there's something for me to collect with Purple Kiss, then they're never really gone. They're always in my heart. And lastly in this binder are the Croctical The Beginning tour cards. And for now, that's where this binder ends. I still have plenty of room to grow and hopefully a whole lot more groups to see. But that is everything for this video. I hope everyone is doing well. The weather has been absolutely insane here, so I hope everyone is being safe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!